So let's take a look at blockchain as a way to protect data. Blockchain is this wonderful distributed technology that allows us to distribute data, the same copy, into a really vast network of blockchain computers. Now all this data is hashed. So the side effect of that process is that you basically are creating a chain of documents, and you cannot modify any of those documents without an explicit consensus from multiple other participants of the blockchain system. So you can imagine a system where there is thousands of participants, and they are all paying attention whether the data is protected or not. If there is an attempt to modify a part of the blockchain system of connected documents, then there has to be an explicit consensus. There's multiple algorithms to accomplish that, but the whole process is basically protected by strong cryptographic algorithms. Assuming that quantum computing is not gonna ruin this type of technology for a number of years, let's say, I would say maybe let's revisit blockchains in 5 years. So if quantum computing is not going to be able to radically change the cryptographic strength by applying tremendously powerful computers that can really reverse engineer the keys, then we are looking at a technology that is available to pretty much anybody. We are looking at a technology that cannot be controlled if it is distributed over multiple nodes, and a technology that can also support transactions, marketplaces, and will also be able to support processes that involve monetization. So, for example, if I have a chunk of my personal data, I will be able to sell it if I choose so, and if I'm not inclined to share it, I will keep it protected within the blockchain. So, in a way, that is a technology that creates a secure, democratic internet, which is something that probably we may not have at the moment. All the mobile devices that we possess and all the data that we create through online e-commerce websites, through all the personal trackers, for example, that measure our heart rate and really monitor our health on a daily basis. All these devices will be able to store the data securely if we allow them to be part of the blockchain. That's the blockchain, right? In a nutshell, a secure storage mechanism and a secure contract mechanism. Let's take a look at AI. So, artificial intelligence, another set of big technologies that are really only increasing in value today. The amount of data that we are collecting is tremendous, and the tasks are also increasingly complex. Autopilots for self-driving cars, and robotics, and human genome data mining. These are tremendous tasks that will only make AI more relevant in the future. So what AI is really doing for us? Well, AI is really taking information that we store somewhere. It could be information from our personal fitness trackers, could be information from our medical records, and can turn this information into knowledge. so that it could be something that is kind of like an actionable procedure. Right, so if this happens, then this happens, and then this happens, and we can kind of figure out perhaps some sort of a future behavior. Knowledge is really the key. Extracting knowledge from information. Right, the fact that you have a book on the shelf doesn't mean that you have the knowledge about the contents of the book. Right, if you have a book about some sort of a mathematical topic, doesn't mean that you can solve those equations. Right, you have to have some sort of an actionable procedure in your brain, so that it's really knowledge, something that you can use, something that you can really use it as an action. So that's what AI can do for you. Now, the problem is that, first of all, in most cases, we are collecting a lot of information that we don't even know about, and that information is totally not protected. Right? Emailing, right, or you are texting, that information goes somewhere, and that information perhaps contains something that is important to a third party. So perhaps you are interested in certain kind of books. Perhaps you are interested in certain kind of clothing items. Perhaps you are on the lookout for some sort of an electronic device. Right? All that information that you are sharing with your friends, all the browsing behavior, clicks that you make online, all that can be used and monetized by third parties that you don't even know about. Additionally, self-driving cars, big topic nowadays. There is an initiative that is aiming at putting behavioral trackers inside cars, so that we can train those AIs in the futures by just analyzing our behavior. Now, this is a tremendously important and valuable information. So then the question becomes, okay, so I have an AI algorithm. How is this AI algorithm implemented? Where is it? Is it going to be something that is under my control, since the data that I generated perhaps is of tremendous value? I should be also entitled to taking advantage of whatever the model generated by AI algorithms is able to produce. Right? It makes only perfect sense to benefit from the model, not just from the raw data that you and I we are producing every day. The question will be, where do you execute that algorithm, and can you protect that process? You ensure the privacy of that process, and if you would like to benefit from the outcomes, let's say a trained model, then we would like to perhaps keep it within a safe environment. So another thing is that often we would like to combine data. Perhaps data from a single person is less valuable as an item, but if we collect data from thousands of people, then that is going to be a totally different ballgame. And indeed, that's the case. So the question becomes, okay, so what if we would like to combine the data from multiple data from thousands of fitness trackers? So the question will be, can we actually build useful artificial intelligence models from distributed data? And the answer is yes. And the blockchain is a perfect technology for it, because it is enabling us to connect to multiple sources of data, and we can connect securely. And additionally, we can train artificial intelligence models in a distributed fashion. It is not a tremendous disadvantage if we take an artificial intelligence model and we train this model on data that is coming from multiple sources.